Hello viewers, here is a Panasonic EasaPhone model KX-T2420. This is a corded telephone with analog dual-cassette answering machine. This is one of a plethora of telephones that I've received recently from that letter H. I'll post a link to his channel in the description box. He needed to offload some of his collection, so he offered it to me and I gladly accepted it. So we'll have some pretty neat telephones to show from him over the next couple of weeks. Now we'll see how far we get into this video because we're having a problem with the studio today. It's leaking again from this particular pipe. I suppose it's condensation that's on there, and perhaps if this was insulated it wouldn't do that, but I don't know, and I'm not really interested in solving it at this point because this is the last winter in the studio anyways. It's been an issue for several years. Sometimes it never leaks at all, and then sometimes it'll leak 2 or 3 times throughout the winter. This year it's decided it wants to leak. It is very cold. It's only right now, it's the 12 degrees and stable. Relatively high humidity outside and relatively low humidity inside. Tonight I may try running a dehumidifier in here and see if that helps at all. Right now it seems to have calmed down, and of course the furnace just turned on. Before it was dripping onto the studio, and so I had to cover everything and put towels and plastic kind of thing over it so the equipment doesn't get damaged. And if it starts doing that again, I'll have to stop the video and cover everything. But looks like we're in the clear for now. Hopefully it'll hold off until the end of the video. So this is the first Panasonic EasaPhone that I have in my collection. And while I haven't used it yet, I really like the aesthetics of it. It has a wood grain finish all around the side, which is really neat. I've never seen another telephone kind of like that. Of course, you can tell it's just a printed, ink thing. It's not obviously wood, but it's still very nice nonetheless. Has a lot of physical switching on it for the settings, which is another thing that I like. Some of the answering machine settings, volume control, answering system on and off. Here we have the power input. It's 13 volts, which is kind of odd. Remote code, I'm not quite sure how that works. Maybe it's 4 and then the second digit is where the switch is at. Telephone line. There's this. I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like that may do something. On the other side we have the handset cord, which is splitting, so I'll just have to cut that off and put a new end on. And we have the memory and the dialing mode. Here's the informations. Matsushita Electric Industrial Company. And this was made in Japan. So I suspect this is probably a very good quality telephone. And these kind of telephones were likely what gave Panasonic that very high-end reputation that they seem to have maintained to this day, even though I would argue that their phones are not anywhere near the quality that they used to be. Here's the power cord, or the power adapter rather. It is the Panasonic KX-A07L, and it takes in 17 watts, so it draws a fair bit of power, and it outputs a fair bit of power too. And this is made in Taiwan, also by Matsushita Electric. Power adapter, while I have no reason to believe it's not original, certainly looks like something of newer make with this round cord. So let's go ahead and plug this in. I don't see any water dripping yet, so we're still okay. Let's plug the power in. phone line and I just heard it beep. Can't tell if that is illuminated or not. No, I guess it's not. The power light's illuminated and so is answer/calls. That's flashing. This is a dual cassette and it uses full-size cassettes. They're both Panasonic branded cassettes. This is the incoming messages cassette, and this is the outgoing message cassette. These are both made in Japan. And here's some information, or instruction rather, for operating it. So let's begin by calling it up first, and then we'll take a look at the answering machine after that. The ring is currently set to low. So we'll start with that and I'll increase it as we go. And the answer, I'll turn the answer off for now so that the ring does get interrupted. Okay, we'll go up another notch on the volume. Go up to high. Oh, was that high? Oh, there's only two settings. I thought there was three. I was confused. So this is high. It's not particularly loud. Okay, it did seize the line. It does not appear to have any side tone to it. The incoming audio works, but it is not. Is it transmitting? It's not transmitting though. Testing, testing. No transmit on the handset. That may be a cord issue. It does appear to be a cord issue. Of course, now we have side tone now that it's working. Okay, so we're not going to be able to test with this cord. So let's go ahead and repair this just so that we're not beating around the bush here, because if I don't fix this now, it's going to take an unreasonable amount of time to get this fixed. Somewhere within this box I have about 100 phone plugs, and here they are. These are the RJ9 size, and this is what we need to go on the end of the handset. And here's the crimping tool that we will need to use to crimp it back on. I just removed the old clip and I cut back down to cut off the whole part where it had separated. And what we'll do is we'll take this tool and we're going to strip this back like that, and then with these kind of cords for the handset, the two outside pairs must be the same on both sides. So the white and white and the red and black, they have to be on the same, they don't have to be on the same side, but they have to remain together. But just for purposes of consistency, I will set it up such that they are on the same side of the plug. So we'll slide this on here, and you can watch it go in on the side. It's all the way back. And then I find that these don't crimp very well for the RJ9 plugs. So I have this other tool that I use to crimp. Plug this in here, it fits firmly. Crimp that down, and that should be ready to go. Now that the phone cord has been repaired, let's try this again. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We still have no transmit. What is the problem with this telephone? We have audio in, but we don't have audio out. Alright, let's try a different cord. I'm kind of surprised that didn't solve the problem. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Well, this is a known good cord. And again, we only have audio in. Now we have audio out. So it appears that we may have a plug problem on the base. Okay, so let's put this other cord back on the testing phone so that we can use that during the video. And we're going to have to do some further repair on this telephone. Because... oh, actually, you know what? We need to be able to fix it right on the spot. If you look into this jack here, you can see that the pin on the left is pushed down a little bit further than the others. So let's try pulling that back up and see if that solves the connection problem. So just for ruling out the issue entirely, I'm going to pull them all back up a little bit. And I should have turned the phone off before doing that. Testing, testing. Okay, we still have no outgoing audio. So it's definitely going to be some kind of a plug issue here. And it may also be a cord issue still, because this cord is not transmitting. Let's put this cord onto the test phone for a moment and see if it'll transmit. Does it transmit? No, it doesn't work with the testing phone. Alright, so this cord is still kind of messed up. I'm not really sure why. And I'm noticing now that the clip on the other side is busted as well. So now I have to kind of replace that as well. Anyways. Testing, testing. Check, check, check. So it seems like it'll work with this cord if you kind of push it down a little bit. Almost seems like maybe it's loose on the board or something. I don't know. Alright, so we'll have to we'll have to look into that a little bit further. Well, you know what? Since I have the tools partially out, go with that again. Oh jeez, it's almost 10 o'clock. Now, I'll fix the other cord. We'll have to do another video for the repair. We'll deal with that cord in the other video. The problem is now I have to get another cord for the testing phone. Okay. I think that's good. That'll work. Okay, so now let's begin. Well, I guess the video's already begun. Let's take a look at the Anatan or analog answering machine. Okay, so how do we check the greeting? Recording an outgoing message. Well, just in case there's any material on here already, let's turn this answering machine on and let's go ahead and call up this phone and see what we hear. Recording 1, 2, 3. The outgoing message appears to be the blank. Okay, so I guess there's no outgoing message on it. There's the volume. Okay. Well, this isn't working too well. Alright, let's stop this. That tape doesn't seem to be playing quite correctly. The RPMs are very inconsistent. Let's try to record the outgoing message. So it says, press this until the button lights. Speak clearly and loudly into the mic. Do not pause for over 2 seconds, okay? Speaking loudly and clearly into the mic. 54187. Now what? When finished, press OGM again. That was awfully noisy. Okay. Now, let's see here. Press this. It doesn't seem like it's working very well. Okay, that needs to stop because that's kind of annoying. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let's see if we can play it back. It doesn't seem to be working correctly. Okay, let's try a memo. Will we have any better results recording a memo message?
Better results reporting a memo message.
Jeez. That quality was awful. The head must need to be cleaned or something. Okay, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. The incoming cassette is kind of a weird. It's not a regular cassette. No idea how this works offhand, but it's quite interesting. I don't even see how does it move, because there's no gear in there. It's just a flat. That's really strange. And there's no gear there, so how does it move the... Oh, I see, there's a rubber thing in there that moves the tape, I guess. Oops. Well, I'll try this one more time. Recording! That beeping thing is really annoying. Now, I know the OGM is kind of just a one-time setup thing, but they really should have come up with something better than that. Okay, supposedly it's recorded. I don't hear anything. Half of this video is just listening to stinking beeping. Memo message number 2. Is this loud and clearly enough?
Any better results reporting a memo message. Memo message number 2. Is this loud and clearly enough?
I don't know if it'll make any difference, but is this a two-sided tape? It is. Let's see if side 2 is any better. really sure what it's playing now. Nothing on there. So let's try to record a memo message again. Is it any clearer this time? That's not sounding too good.
Is it any clearer this time?
It was. That was much better. Okay, let's try to call it up and see if we can get a recording on the answering machine through the phone line. I'll turn this call screening down so we don't have a feedback freak show. Okay, so it's playing that top cassette, but I don't hear anything. I don't even hear like the scratchy sound of a tape playing. It's just not transmitting any audio. Okay. So, I'm not really sure what it did just then. It seemed to play the blank greeting and then hang up. Was it not on? No, it was on. Off, on. Let's change it to 1 minute. And change it to 2 rings. And see if that makes any difference. I'm going to try the OGM again. This machine doesn't work very well. Oh, here we go with this stinking beeping again. That cassette is fascinating. I need to figure out how that works. Alright, let's call it up again and see what happens. Is it recording now? No, it can't be recording because the tape's not playing. But it's not playing. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything. It's almost like it's on announce only or something. I'm not even sure if this has that feature. don't see anything that says that. It seems like it should be very simple. I don't think that I'm doing it wrong. I don't know, let's unplug it from the power. Plug it back in. Oops. Now let's see if it operates any differently this time. Okay, it's done initializing, it's ready to be used. Recording the outgoing message. I am speaking loudly and clearly as it suggested. Okay, now if we do a playback here, it's like the tape is blank. Okay, well let's call one more time and see if it'll record anything. I don't hear anything on the phone. I don't hear anything to the line. I don't hear anything on the call screening either, which is still on. It's all the way up, and I don't hear anything. I don't know what's going on here. The only thing I did was change the side of the tape, but it wasn't recording quite right before anyways. Well, now the water is starting to drip in the studio again, so I have to cover the equipment. I am getting tired, so I need to go to sleep. And we'll have to revisit this another time, because this is going to need a fair bit of work.